Let me ask you something. What's the real life of a superstar like when the cameras are off and the spotlight fades? Today, you'll hear the truth. From chaotic studios to quiet mornings, from sold out arenas to lonely hotel rooms, this is the routine of a music star the media never shows you.
Forget what you think you know about fame. Today we are getting a raw, honest look at the real routine of a superstar.
She's a singer, a songwriter, a powerhouse, and a former child star. We'll introduce her in a moment, but first, we have a special gift for you. Today's podcast comes with a full workbook. Inside, you'll find the 50 most interesting words and phrases from our chat, translated into 12 languages. Plus, there are exercises and an answer key to help you practice what you've learned. Stay tuned until the end. This podcast and workbook will make a huge difference in your English studies.
To download your free podcast workbook, check the link in the description below. And now, let me introduce to you the world-famous Miley. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. It's our pleasure, Miley. We're so happy to have you. So, your life seems incredibly exciting and busy, but we want to know what it's really like behind the scenes. Hello, and welcome to your English Toolbox. I'm Julia.
And I'm Martin. We're here to help you improve your English skills, one conversation at a time. And today we have a very special guest with us. Miley, instead of us telling everyone your story, would you mind introducing yourself to our listeners?
Of course. Well, hello everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Miley, and I'm a singer and songwriter. My story is a little different, though. I started my career as a child actor when I was about 10 years old, working on a few popular TV shows. I loved it, but music was always my real passion. So, a few years ago, I decided to focus on songwriting. I released a couple of songs online, and to my surprise, they went viral. Since then, it's been a crazy journey, and I'm very excited to share my day with you all.
Miley, people often imagine your life as a series of constant glamour, luxury, and exciting experiences. They see the private jets and the fancy clothes. What is one thing about your daily life that would truly surprise them?
That's a great question, Martin. I think people would be really surprised by how much of my life is actually very normal, even boring. They don't see the hours I spend in my pajamas, just like everyone else. They don't see me getting lost in a grocery store or trying to put together furniture that I bought from a popular home goods store. The biggest surprise for most people would probably be how little time I actually spend on things that look glamorous. Most of my day is spent either in the studio, which is a lot of hard work, or on a plane, which is just flying. I think it's important to remember that all the flashy stuff is just part of the job, but it's not the whole story. At the end of the day, I'm just a normal person trying to live my life, and I think that's the part people forget to see. Thank you for sharing that, Miley. It really helps us see the person behind the pop star. On a different note, I imagine that with all the fame and travel, your love life, dating, and relationships must be incredibly difficult. What is your love life about? That's a great question, Julia, and it's something I think about a lot. Honestly, it's one of the hardest parts of this job. When you're a public person, it's so difficult to know who you can trust. You meet so many people, and you always have to wonder if they're interested in you or in the idea of you, the fame, the money, the life. So for a long time, I was very careful, and I think I closed myself off a bit. It's hard to find a genuine connection when you're always wondering about someone's intentions.
That sounds incredibly lonely.
It can be, yeah. But actually, I have some news. A kind of scoop, I guess. I am in a relationship. I'm in love. He's a music recording technician, and he's just the most normal guy. He doesn't want to get involved in the fame and the stardom. In fact, he kind of hates it. He reminds me every day what real life is like. He loves me for me, not for my songs or my followers. With him, I can just be Miley. It's so refreshing, and he's taught me so much about staying grounded and remembering who I was before all of this. It's really helped me keep my feet on the ground. So, your life seems incredibly exciting and busy, but we want to know what it's really like behind the scenes. To start, what does your day look like when you're not on stage? What's the first thing you do when you wake up? That's a great question, because a lot of people imagine I wake up and immediately start singing. The truth is, my mornings are probably the most normal part of my day. I try to wake up without an alarm, if I can, and just have a quiet coffee and maybe read a bit. It's my calm before the storm, you know? I've learned that I need that time to get my head in the right place before everything starts. Once the emails and messages start coming in, my brain just has to go into autopilot.
I can imagine. It's like a warm-up for your brain, you know? You mentioned you were a child actor. That's a whole different kind of busy. Did that experience prepare you at all for this level of fame?
Oh, absolutely. I think it gave me a huge advantage. When I was a kid on a film set, I had to learn discipline very quickly. I was working long days, sometimes 12 hours or more, and you have to be ready to perform the moment the director says action. So, I got used to the long hours and the pressure from a very young age. It taught me to be professional and focused, even when I was tired or feeling a bit overwhelmed. I learned how to manage my time and my energy, which is a skill that is so important now that I'm on tour and my schedule is packed. That's fascinating. So, in a way, you were always in training for this moment. It sounds like you learned how to switch gears from your private self to your professional self very early on. But now, let's get to the most exciting part: the music. Can you walk us through what it feels like to be in the studio, working on a brand new song? Oh, I love that question. The studio is like my second home. It's where I feel most comfortable. The process usually starts with an idea, a feeling, a line in my journal, or even just a cool beat. Then my producer and I get together. He's amazing at helping me bring my ideas to life. We'll start with a basic melody and maybe a few chords, and I'll start singing some lyrics I've written. The energy in the room is incredible. It's a mix of excitement and concentration.
I imagine it must be a lot of pressure. Do you get nervous about getting the perfect take?
I used to, for sure. But now, I've learned to trust the process. We record everything, and I mean everything. We might record the same line 20 times until it feels just right. We're constantly laying down tracks for different instruments, and it's like building a big, beautiful puzzle. My producer will give me feedback, and we'll keep working on it until it's finished. It's hard work, but when you hear the final product, it's all worth it. That sounds like a dream. What's the hardest part of the process for you? Is it finding the right words or making the music sound perfect? I think the hardest part is the pressure to create another hit song. You want every song to be as good as your last one, and sometimes you get creative blocks. That's why I've learned it's so important to step away from the studio sometimes. I have to live my life to get new inspiration.
Well, you're definitely doing something right. Your songs are on every playlist.
Thank you. It's still surreal every time I hear one on the radio. It's truly a dream come true.
Miley, we have to ask about a topic that always comes up with pop stars. There are so many stories in the media about partying, drugs, and alcohol. Is there any truth to that? Or is it just a myth?
Martin, I think it's mostly a myth, to be honest. Of course, I go to parties from time to time, and it's fun to celebrate, but that's not what my life is really about. People don't realize how much hard work it takes to be on tour. My show involves a lot of dancing and singing, and I have to be incredibly fit to do it every night. So, a healthy lifestyle is paramount for me. I go to the gym every day and focus on eating well. If I didn't, I wouldn't have the energy to perform. For me, staying healthy isn't just a choice, it's a part of the job. That's so interesting. It helps us understand your world a little more. I have another curiosity. Do you pop stars become friends with each other? Or is there so much rivalry? Julia, it's tough. Honestly, our lives are so intense and we're always traveling, so it's difficult to make and keep friends. It can feel a little lonely sometimes because people don't really understand what this life is like,
I can only imagine.
right? But something really amazing happened to me. I met this other pop star. She's a tall, blonde superstar who blends country with pop music, and she's also an incredible dancer. We had so much in common, from our passion for music to the crazy schedules, that we connected immediately and became friends. We talk on WhatsApp and Zoom all the time, and we try to see each other whenever we can. It's so nice to have someone who truly gets it, who understands the good parts and the bad parts of this life.
That's a great story. It's wonderful that you have a friend who understands your world. Now, let's talk about a different part of the job. A song isn't just a song these days, is it? It needs a music video. What is a music video shoot like?
Oh, a video shoot is a completely different universe from the recording studio. In the studio, it's very calm and creative. A video shoot is absolute chaos. There are so many people everywhere. The director, the camera crew, the stylists, hair, makeup, the lighting people. It's a big production. It's also very physical. We might have to do the same dance move or facial expression 100 times to get the perfect take. The hours are incredibly long, so you have to have a lot of energy. It sounds exhausting. It can be, but it's also a lot of fun. I love the costumes and the dramatic makeup. It's a chance to get into character and tell a visual story that matches the song. Sometimes we're filming on location somewhere amazing, and other times we're on a studio lot in front of a green screen, which is kind of funny.
So, are you involved in the creative side of the video, or do you just show up and act?
No, I'm very involved. I love being part of the process. I sit down with the director and we talk about the message of the song and what kind of story we want to tell. It's important to me that the video feels authentic and that it represents the song in the right way. I have a lot of input on the costumes and the set. It's another way for me to be creative, but in a very different way than songwriting. It's a huge amount of work, but when you see the finished video, it's so exciting to see your vision come to life.
Thank you for sharing that, Miley. It's truly incredible how much work goes into a single video. But now, let's talk about the grand finale of a pop star's day. Your day isn't over, is it? We heard you had a big concert that night. What was it like to prepare for a show for 80,000 people?
Oh my gosh, that's a whole different kind of energy. Being on tour is a marathon, and the concert is the finish line. The whole day is just building up to that moment. Before the show, the atmosphere backstage is crazy. We do a sound check in the afternoon to make sure everything is perfect, and I can hear the crew moving around and testing the lights. There's a nervous energy, but it's a good kind of nervous. You get into a routine. I warm up my voice, stretch my body and my band, and I just hang out and get ready. Then the moment comes, walking out in front of 80,000 people. How does that feel? It's impossible to describe. It's the moment you live for. The lights go down and the crowd starts screaming. I can't really see anyone, just a sea of lights from their phones. My heart is beating so fast. Then the music starts and I take the stage. It's just a crazy amount of adrenaline. You just feel this huge wave of energy coming from everyone in the stadium. It's a sellout show, and you can feel it.
And what's it like when you're performing? Are you thinking about the dancing and the singing, or is it something else?
It's a mixture of everything. My body just takes over, you know? It's all muscle memory from rehearsals, but my mind is on the connection. The best part is seeing the audience singing every word of my songs. I look at their faces, and I see people laughing and crying, and I realize my music is a part of their lives. It's so powerful. You feel like you're not just a person anymore. You're part of this huge, beautiful moment. That's amazing. I can only imagine what the energy feels like. When the show is over and you walk off stage, does the feeling stay with you? For sure. We usually do an encore where the fans cheer for more songs, and we come back out. After that final song, I bow, wave goodbye, and walk back off stage. As soon as I'm backstage, the energy is still so high. Everyone is hugging and cheering. It takes me a long time to switch off. I might have some tea and just try to be quiet. It's hard because your body and mind are still going 100 miles an hour. It's a huge high, but you have to find a way to come down from it and prepare for the next day, the next show, and the next crowd. And let me ask you, how do you manage to go back to planet Earth after such a rush of adrenaline? To be honest, the first thing I do is talk to my family. They're the ones who really help me stay grounded. After that, I usually try to see my boyfriend. Going out for a late dinner with him, away from the venue, is how I feel normal again. It helps me disconnect from the famous music star character and just be Miley. I'm not on stage anymore. I'm just a person having a conversation. It's so important for me to have those moments of real life. My best friend, the tall blonde superstar I told you about, feels the same way. We talk about it all the time. That feeling of needing to reconnect with who you are when you're not performing. Having her to talk to about it is a huge help.
Miley, that's such a powerful way to end your day. It sounds like the key to your success is not just the hard work, but also staying grounded and connected to who you really are.
Exactly. I think it's the only way to survive this life. To be honest, it's all about finding a balance between the person on stage and the person at home. That's a beautiful message. You've given us such a unique look into your world, the good, the bad, and the normal. Before we let you go, do you have any general advice for people who want to have a career as a singer? What's one thing you would tell them? That's a really important question. I think the one piece of advice I would give is to be incredibly honest with yourself. This isn't an easy career. It's a lot of hard work, and you're going to hear no much more often than yes. You need to be ready for that. So, my advice is to work harder than you've ever worked before. Practice your craft every single day. Don't worry so much about being famous. Focus on being a great artist. Find your own voice and what you want to say to the world. And always, always remember why you started doing this in the first place. For the pure love of the music. If you have that, you're already successful. Thank you both so much for having me. It was a real pleasure.
Our pleasure entirely. And with that, we'll say goodbye to the incredible Miley.
Martin, I don't think I'll ever listen to a pop song the same way again. It makes you realize how much work goes on behind the scenes, doesn't it?
It really does. And on that note, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, it's time for our language lab. We've got a lot of new vocabulary to go over from Miley's day.
Language Lab.
Welcome back. And now, as promised, it's time for our language lab. Today we've got some great phrases from our conversation with Miley that will help you sound more like a native speaker. Julia, you want to get us started?
I'd love to. First up, Miley mentioned that as a child, she had to learn discipline. This word simply means the ability to control yourself and be focused, even when you don't feel like it. You need a lot of discipline to achieve big goals, right?
Exactly. The next one is about a musician's life on tour. When a band or artist is on tour, it means they are traveling from city to city, performing concerts. So you can say, the band is on tour for the next 6 months.
She also said that before a show, she and the band do a sound check. This is a short practice or rehearsal to make sure the microphones and speakers are working perfectly. No one wants to hear bad sound.
Definitely not. Another great phrase she used was to sell out. This is a great expression. When a concert or event sells out, it means all the tickets are gone. The place is full. So you can say, her show was so popular, it sold out in just a few minutes. And speaking of the show, Miley said the best part was when she got to take the stage. This just means to walk onto the stage to begin your performance. So you can say, the singer will take the stage at 9 p.m. sharp. She also talked about the roar of the crowd. A crowd is simply a large group of people. In music, we use it to talk about the audience. She could feel the energy of the crowd.
And after the show, she said the fans cheered for an encore. An encore is an extra song that a performer sings at the end of a show because the audience asks for more.
We also learned some great phrases for the creative process. She said she gets in the zone when she's composing. To be in the zone means you are completely focused on what you're doing and you don't notice anything else.
Another one was hit song. A hit song is a very popular and successful song. You hear it everywhere, just like Miley's.
And finally, she mentioned that she lays down a track when she records. To lay down a track means to record a part of a song in the studio. You could say, he's in the studio today laying down a track for a new song.
And that brings us to the end of our conversation with Miley. What a fascinating look into her world. I don't think I'll ever listen to a pop song the same way again. It makes you realize how much work goes on behind the scenes, doesn't it?
It really does. I was so impressed with her honesty and how hard she works. She's not just a pop star, she's a businesswoman, an artist, and a normal person trying to stay grounded.
Her story about her love life and her friendship really helped me feel connected to her. It makes you realize that even when you're famous, the most important things in life are the same for everyone.
A perfect summary, Julia. Thank you to Miley for sharing her day with us, and thank you all for listening.
That's all the time we have for today. Remember to subscribe to your English Toolbox for more conversations and language